Hi guys, this is what I'm by. Chip so bump on your one by. Today is Wednesday, August 9, around 7:40 p.m. night time, New York City. Bump on នេះគឺជាថ្ងៃពុធខែ8ទី9 2023នៅប្រហែលជាម៉ោង 7:40 ហើយពេលយប់នៅ New York City ខ្ញុំចាញ់មកនេះមានការសំខាន់ហើយខ្ញុំពីស្រុកទេសរបស់យើងអំពីការផ្ទេរអំណាចអីចេះចោះណា Guys I have important message again for my people and to spread the word around the world for all my supporters and all my people around the world to reach out, to help out, to hear our voice. I'm from Cambodia and we call ourselves Khmer people. We are Khmer and we speak Khmer language too. And something is not sounds too good in my country. Something is bad thing going on in my country. So I come out today. I have 6 pages again. I choose 6 pages because I refers to 2 persons in the country. One is the woman, one is the man. The man is Hun Sen and the woman is Queen of Cambodia called Moniniet. Usually she a commoner and she you know it's illegal to put her on the whatever on the throne or whatever, but that is the woman is Queen of Cambodia, Queen Moniniet, and the man is what people call right now Prime Minister Hun Sen. So I this 6 pages long notes is refers to them. It's pointed to them. បងប្អូនខ្ញុំចេញមកថ្ងៃនេះមាន6ស្លឹកហើយ6ស្លឹកនេះវាមានសញ្ញាទៅឲ្យមេដឹកនាំរបស់យើងមួយជាស្រីមួយជាប្រុសគឺលោកហ៊ុនសែនហើយស្រីគឺជាអ្នកមនាងមនិចដែលបងប្អូនហៅថាលួងម៉ែអីចឹងណាតាមធម្មតាស្រីនោះមិនមែនជាស្ដេចទេលើកក៏លើកខុសដែរបងប្អូនប៉ុន្តែបើគេថាខ្លួនជាស្ដេចអីលើកអីខុសត្រូវអីចឹងហើយបើគេសម្រាប់ចឹងហើយអត់សូមឲ្យគេធ្វើល្អប៉ុន្តែទាំងពីររូបនេះអត់បានធ្វើល្អដាក់ស្រុកទេសរបស់យើងដាក់រាជរបស់យើងម្ល៉េះហើយខ្ញុំឆ្លើយតបទៅវិញក្នុងការដឹកនាំរបស់គាត់ដឹកនាំរបស់ហ៊ុនសែនហើយអ្នកមនាងមនិចនឹងអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំមើលជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសខ្ញុំថ្ងៃនេះចេញមកនឹងធ្វើ3វីដេអូទី1ខ្ញុំមើលនឹងភាសាអង់គ្លេសទី2ខ្ញុំនឹងនិយាយខ្ញុំនឹងបកប្រែជាភាសាខ្មែរជូនបងប្អូនវីដេអូទី2អញ្ចឹងសូមបងប្អូនទាំងអស់មេត្តាដល់ខ្ញុំផងខ្ញុំមេត្តាដល់ខ្ញុំដូចជាមេត្តាដល់ក្រុមគ្រួសាររបស់បងប្អូនទាំងអស់ខ្ញុំចង្អុលទៅតែពីគ្រួសារនឹងទេហើយពីគ្រួសារហ្នឹងបើខាងស្ដេចយើងមានតែ2អ្នកម្ដាយកូនទេស្ដេចថាព្រះអង្គចាស់សីហមុនីហ្នឹងហើយអ្នកនាងមនិចហ្នឹងបើខាងលោកហ៊ុនសែនតែអ្នកធំដែលធ្វើការក្នុងរាជការទេទូចតាចកូនក្មេងអីខ្ញុំអត់មានចិត្តមាក់ងាយអីទេអញ្ចឹងសូមយើងចាប់ផ្ដើមទាំងអស់គ្នា Okay guys, I'm going to read to you, but before I read I'm going to show you the page first. Okay, I'm going to show you I'm going to show you how it is. Okay, this is first page. This is first page. You guys see it? This is the first page. First page. This is second page. This is the third page. This is the fourth page. This is the fifth page. All is my idea, but the help correcting English sentences like that is my best friend. Help me out. Because my English has limit to it. I only finished high school. បងប្អូនភាសាអីទាំងអស់នេះការគិតគូរខ្ញុំទាំងអស់គំនិតអីខ្ញុំអីការចេះដឹងខ្ញុំទាំងអស់គ្រាន់តែភាសាអង់គ្លេសមិត្តភ័ក្ដិខ្ញុំគាត់ជា lawyer attorney គាត់ជួយកែភាសាអង់គ្លេសខ្ញុំដែលយើងខុសត្រូវអីគាត់ជួយកែពីព្រោះអីខ្ញុំរៀនបានចប់តែត្រឹម high school ទេអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំមើលជូនបងប្អូន This is the first page, guys. Sorry, guys. Can I get the hair out of my face so I could read to you guys? ខ្ញុំសូមជូនការគិតចេះដឹងខ្ញុំទាំងអស់នេះជាពិសេសទៅដល់បងប្អូនប៉ុស្តិ៍ព័ត៌មានធំដូចជាវិទ្យុអេស៊ីសេរីហៅថា RFA ខ្មែរ Radio Free Asia VOD VOA Cambodia Delhi អីចឹងហើយប៉ុស្តិ៍ YouTube ធំទាំងអស់ដែលស្រឡាញ់នៅសេចក្តីល្អស្រឡាញ់នៅសេចក្តីសុខសាន្តស្រឡាញ់នៅសិទ្ធិសេរីភាពសូមឲ្យជួយខ្ញុំផងឲ្យយកទៅវែកញែកហើយថាការចេះដឹងផុសខ្ញុំវាអាចនាំស្រុកទេសយើងទៅល្អបានអីចឹងណា Around 600 BC, the ancient Chinese philosopher Confucius was credited with having invented the idea of meritocracy in government. Confucius thought that the people who govern a country should do so based on merit and not inherited status. Because of Confucius, China would start giving tests to all people who applied for a job in the government. If the person did not do well on his application test, then he could not be in the government. That was a big change because previously people in government would just appoint their family members and friends. After Confucius, a person had to be smart enough and educated enough to pass the test to get the government job. Thousands of years later, in 1776, the United States was found as democracy, where citizens would be able to vote to determine who would be in important government positions. The idea of democracy was based partially on the old Confucian idea of meritocracy, because politicians would be elected based on merit instead of being appointed by a family member. The American democracy was a big change from what was going on in the countries of Western Europe, which were all controlled by kings and queens who would pass power down to their sons and sometimes daughters and other royal family members. But democracy started to catch on quickly. People liked to vote and having their vote counted. People liked being able to choose who would lead their country. And people liked the opportunity to educate themselves and work hard so that they can aspire to one day have a good job in the government or even be the president. The opportunity to live in a country that is fair and bases success on merit and not just family connections inspired people to work hard and strive to be successful. Democracy and capitalism work well for the United States and have the U.S. become one of the richest countries in the world. This is the second page. Soon countries across Europe started taking away political power from the king and queen because the system of government was not working for most of the citizens. France was one of the most striking examples of social and economic inequalities in French society led to the French Revolution happening in 1789, where citizens fought and removed the monarchy. Over the next 100 years in Europe, the trend continued. Failing governments led to political power being taken away from the monarchy and given to people who were elected for government positions. Even truly, all the countries in Europe made the king and queen largely a symbolic and ceremonial positions important to the history and culture of the country, but not with any political or military power. Meritocracy, democracy, having a free and fair elected government where citizens have civic rights and opportunity to earn a good living, has led to solid growth and progress for countries. The transition from royal families governing the military and citizens to politicians elected on the basis of being the best person for the job was a large improvement for most countries. There are still some countries which pass on power from one family member to another, but those countries are not doing well. North Korea, Kim Il-sung passed on power to his son Kim Jong-il, who later died of a heart attack, and power was passed on to his son Kim Jong-un, who currently leads the country. But North Korea's economy has been weak, and it has been reported that the citizens of North Korea are often starving with not enough food to eat. Citizens who defect from North Korea describe a country where people are often forced into hard labor against their will and are abused by the government. South Korea, a democratic country, has a great economy, making Samsung TV and phones and Kai cars. This is very big contrast because before 1945, this is the third page, North Korea and South Korea were the same country. Korea did not split into two countries until after World War II. In approximately 75 years, South Korea has used meritocracy, democracy, and free market capitalism to become one of the richest nations in the world. Cambodia needs to follow the example set by South Korea. I have talked about Hun Sen in the past and his refusal to allow free and fair elections. It has been going on in Cambodia since 1985 when Hun Sen was appointed as Prime Minister. At that time, the Vietnamese government called Hun Sen by the name Mai Phum. It's spelled M-A-I space Phum, P-H-U-C. In 1993, the UN held an election in Cambodia which Hun Sen Cambodian People Party lost to Norodom Ranariddh Phen Party, otherwise known as the National United Front of an Independent, Neutral, Peaceful, and Cooperative Cambodia, or in Khmer language, Ranase Bangrum Chiet Dambai Campuchia Aikariat Apchia Krat Santi Piep Nang Saha Batka. But Hun Sen refused to leave office, and instead for 4 years Hun Sen shared power with the Phen Party, with Norodom Ranariddh being the first Prime Minister and Hun Sen being the second prime minister. But this arrangement was still not good enough for the power-hungry Hun Sen. In 1997, Hun Sen launched a violent military coup, attacking and killing many of the Fencenpech Party soldiers and members. Hun Sen forced Norodom Ranariddh to flee the country. Hun Sen then installed Ung Huat as the new first prime minister in place of Norodom Ranariddh. This was not what the United Nations and international community had in mind when the 1991 Paris Peace Agreement was signed. The Paris Agreement was intended to end the civil war and give Cambodian citizens civic rights, with the aim of turning Cambodia into a healthy, functioning country which would join the international community as a new democracy with growing economy. This is the 4th page. Now 32 after the Paris Agreement, Cambodia is further away from being a meritocracy and democracy than it was when the Paris Agreement was signed in 1991. In my video entitled Hun Sen appointed unelected son as Prime Minister, which I released on YouTube on July 29, 2023. I talk about how Cambodia elections were rigged and how Cambodian citizens was losing all their money to a corrupt government and corrupt corporations. I also talk about how in 2013 Hun Sen stole the election away from Sam Rainsy and Kem Sokha Cambodian National Rescue Party. I talk in that video about how Hun Sen jailed Kem Sokha, leader of the Cambodian National Rescue Party, for 27 years on 4 charges. And he banned the Candlestick Party from running in this year's recent election by having the courts refuse to allow them to register as a party and be included on the ballots. Hun Sen passing on power to his son after a rigged election is yet another tragedy and more evidence that Cambodia is moving away from democracy and the international community. Last Monday, King Norodom Sihamoni signed a royal decree formally appointing Hun Sen as Prime Minister. King Sihamoni should have refused to confirm Hun Sen's illegal appointment of his son as Prime Minister. This is not how a democracy works. A Prime Minister has to be voted into office by a free and fair election. Having a king or anyone else confirm the appointment does not make it more legitimate. The British Broadcasting Corporation, otherwise known as the BBC, is reporting now that Hun Sen's new cabinet is expected to include. This is the 5th page. Sorry, I take a break in between because I'm kind of nervous too. This is the 5th page. Younger face. Many of the men who rose with Hun Sen through the Khmer Rouge Revolution and Civil War of the 1970s and 1980s have also stepped down, in some cases handing their jobs to their own children. Government bribes, corruption, and stealing land have given a few rich families and corporations in Cambodia all the wealth at the expense of the ordinary citizens. This has been a hallmark of Hun Sen's 40 years in power. It is little wonder that, given this history, Hun Sen has the confidence to believe he can just appoint his son as Prime Minister. Hun Sen attended the U.S. Military Academy West Point in upstate New York for college. Afterwards, he earned a master's degree in economics at New York University in New York City. He also earned a PhD in economics at the University of Bristol in England. So Hun Sen has learned a lot about economics from some of the best schools in the West. He would have to forget everything learned at those schools to think that Cambodia can be a successful country if it continues to operate like it did when his father Hun Sen was Prime Minister. Cambodians desperately need the opportunity to live in a country that is fair and bases success on merit and not just family connections. I am sure that right now the only real threat to humanity is not from the Candlestick Party or other pro-democracy parties who want a fair and just Cambodian. The real threat to humanity is all the rich and powerful families in Cambodia who want to take power for themselves. This is likely why Hun Sen seems worried that someone might attack his son, warning people that he will visit harm upon them if they attempt to fight with his son. This is page number 6. The people of Cambodia needs to know how their right to vote and human rights have been repeatedly robbed. And humanity needs to follow the path towards democracy, meritocracy, and free market economies, which he learned in his economics classes. Cambodia needs to follow the lead of countries like South Korea, not North Korea. Thank you guys. I have done the 6th page. So see you in the next video.